Alright, what is up guys? We're back for our third tutorial on Solidworks 2015 and we're continuing to work on our steam engine project, which we have right here if you have not seen it yet. If this is your first video, please be sure to go back and start with the first tutorial, that way you can see this project all the way through. But anyway, I would just like to discuss a little change which is going to come to the series with this episode. I've decided to start doing 15-minute episodes instead of 30-minute episodes. I understand they can really drag on at 30 minutes, so we're going to start making them a little bit shorter, but still trying to get all the content we can into them. Last episode we worked on this part. This is the base of the steam engine. You can see right here, it was a very intricate build. It took all of an entire episode. But don't worry, this is probably the most intricate part we will have to do in this series. So now that we are past this, we can go and start working again on some of the more simple parts, such as this bearing keeper here. So this is going to be the next part in our build. And if we just take a quick look at, we notice that it's 30 millimeters by 15 millimeters and 3 millimeters deep. So it's a pretty simple part with a couple of chamfers and a couple of holes in the center. So we'll go ahead and start on that. Now, you guys know that I like to use my center rectangles. It keeps everything aligned nicely, especially if you have to do any mirroring or any carryover to other programs later on. So we will go ahead and get that 15 by 30 millimeter main structure drawn out there, and we will go ahead and do these 2 millimeter chamfers within the sketch. So we'll select millimeters, make sure we select each one of the vertices of that rectangle, go ahead and click check. And lastly, what we can also go ahead and do are these two circles here on the center of the part. Now we need to make sure that both of these circles are centered. Each of them is 4 millimeters in diameter. Let's go ahead and dimension both of those. They are 22 millimeters apart, meaning this center one should be 11, or this left one should be 11 meters left of the center. Alright, and now all we have to do is exit out of the sketch, go to our extrude boss base feature, and select a 3 millimeter extrude depth, as you can see here. So let's go ahead and extrude that to 3 millimeters. Alright, that looks good. And the last thing we need to do is change our material for this part. We notice that this is stainless steel, so if we come to edit material, open up the material library, we scroll down, we should see there are actually a couple of different options for stainless steel. We are going to go ahead and go with the cast stainless steel. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, there's minimal difference between the cast and the chrome, but actually now that I look at the properties of the chrome line more with the Autodesk Inventor mass properties, so we will go with that one instead actually. So chrome stainless steel for this part, apply and close. Alright, we'll go ahead and save this into our miniature steam engine folder as the bearing keeper. Move on to the next part. Looks much the same. It's actually has the same main frame. The only difference is this this semicircle cut out the bottom. So what we'll actually do is we'll go ahead and save this as another part, name the connecting rod, seeing as the name of this part is the connecting rod. So we'll go ahead and save that one as the connecting rod, and we're going to come edit this feature because this one is instead 10 millimeters thick instead of 3. So if we come back, change that to 10 millimeters. Make sure that these holes are still extruded all the way through the part, and come and begin a sketch on this side in order to take care of the semicircle cut out on the side of the part there. So we notice that this semicircle is of diameter 12 millimeters, so we can grab our circle tool, sketch a circle, the radius of 6 millimeters, take a line, go across right there, and trim off this bottom section. And if we exit our sketch and we go to do an extruded cut, we make sure that is through all. And there is the part. Now this part is not in stainless steel though, this one is in brass. So we need to change the material to brass. Now come down, I believe is under other metals. Actually, I think we put brass into our favorites last time. Yes, we did. So there you go. Now it is in brass. So we save that one. We're good to go. Moving on, we have a more unique part. We haven't seen anything like this composed mainly of one cylinder on top of another with threads and some chamfers all around yet. So this is the crank rod bolt. So to begin with, I think I would like to do this, let's do the top portion here. So let's do a 3 millimeter thick, 12 millimeter diameter circular prism. So let's go ahead and go to new part. Let's do a sketch. We'll do it on the front plane. Let's go ahead and make a circle with under 12 millimeters. Alright, and we're going to do an extruded boss base of 3 millimeters. And we want there to be a 1 millimeter chamfer, not fillet, on the top portion of this piece. So we change that to 1 millimeter. That looks good all the way around. Alright, and next what we're going to want to do is this smaller, skinnier cylinder here, which we know is only 1 millimeter thick and 4 millimeters in diameter. So we go ahead and sketch on here. Take a circle tool, make sure that this is 4 millimeters in diameter. Go ahead and extrude that 1 millimeter deep. We are good to go. Now lastly, what we're going to want to do is this M5 threading. So actually, I believe if we continue this thinner cylinder, then we can add on the threads and it will adjust that portion of the cylinder to the right size, but I'm not sure of that. So what we're going to do is go ahead and make a separate cylinder on the bottom. So we're going to take and draw a 5 millimeter circle here. Go to extrude ball space, and by looking at the drawings we can come to a conclusion that this one should be 8 millimeters deep. And if we go ahead and apply the fillets, each of 1/2 millimeter this time, to the bottom and top edges of this cylinder. And the last thing that we will need to do before changing the material type will be to go to Insert. We're going to want to come down to Annotations and Cosmetic Threads. Go ahead and click on the beginning face here. We're going to want this to run metric M5 5.8 as shown in the drawing. M5 5.8. There you go. And we're going to do it blind. Actually, we'll just go up to next because that should stop there. So if we click check, we can see our circle indicating our cosmetic threads. And if we want to be able to see those cosmetic threads, we can go to Tools, Document Properties, Detailing, and check Shaded Cosmetic Threads. Now, there you go. There's our threads. So you can see they match the ones here. Now, lastly, we need to change our material to copper. So, let's see, I actually already have that in the favorites here as well, so we'll just change that material type. And there you have it. That is our crank rod bolt. So, let's go ahead and save that piece. Oh, make sure I have my caps. Crank rod bolt. So, I think we have time for one or two more parts real quick. Yeah, this one might actually be our last one. So let's get started on it. This is our crank rod pin. This one's slightly more intricate than that last bolt that we did. So let's just take a look here. We're going to start off with the same thing, a 12 millimeter diameter, 3 millimeter thick cylinder with 1 millimeter chamfers on the top edge. So just go to a new part, go to sketch on the top plane this time. It really doesn't matter which plane you choose to begin with. Sometimes I have reason behind which plane I choose to start on. Sometimes it is just arbitrary and it will be fixed in assembly later on once the part is used. So we have our 3 millimeter thick cylinder there. Let's go ahead and apply. Oh, that was a fillet. My bad. That was supposed to be a chamfer. Let's go ahead and delete that. Change that to a chamfer at 1 millimeter. There it is. As the head of our crank rod pin. Next, we want to create this this extruded circle on the bottom of that, the head of that pin. And we notice that is going to be 27.5 minus the 3 millimeter thickness of the top of the head of the pin. So that's going to leave us with 24.5 millimeter, extrusion off the bottom with a 0.5 millimeter chamfer on the bottom edge. So if we go ahead and sketch on the bottom, and we can draw and this is an 8 millimeter circle here, and we can go ahead and do the extrude for that, and we can extrude that down 24.5 millimeters, and we will take and chamfer the bottom edge to 0.5 millimeters. There it is. Alright, and next we are going to want to do an extruded cut on the inside of the pin, which allows for an M5 screw. So if we want to go ahead and sketch on the front plane, on the front or bottom edge of the screw of the pin, and make that a 5 millimeter circle, we can do an extruded cut, and this cut only goes as shown by drawings 10 millimeters deep. So we're going to want to do a 10 millimeter deep extruded cut, and there it is. Alright, and the last thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and apply our cosmetic threads. So we'll go to Tools, Insert, Insert, my bad, Annotations, Cosmetic Threads. Select this as our starting point down here. And, oh, my bad, I forgot. We needed to actually allow for the threads to be created. So this sketch actually needs to be, I believe it needs to be, it's either 6, I forget which direction you have to go. It's either 6 or 4. So we will try this one. Annotations, cosmetic threads. Okay, yeah, it was 4. So change this dimension back to 4. Real quick. Alright, insert, annotations, oh, that's out there. Insert, annotations, cosmetic thread, starting with this one, M5 by 8 up to next. And there it is. And if we go and turn on cosmetic threads, we would be able to see that. Lastly, change our material to copper. So there you have it. That is going to be all that we can get to for this episode, guys. Like I said, they're going to be shorter from now on. Be sure to check in next time, and we'll continue our build. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the past episodes.